What's up, guys, man? We're going to be looking at Marc Diakiese versus Viacheslav Borshchev. I'm very proud to say that I've been on Viacheslav Borshchev since the very beginning, since the Dana White's Contender Series days, I guess you could say, if that even counts as being the very beginning. I don't actually think I did pick him to beat Chris Duncan though, but I did say that he's got a very good chance. He surprised me, and I think he surprised a lot of people, and then he also surprised a lot of people when he beat Dakota Bush. Well, he didn't really surprise, I think he was the favourite, but he did still surprise a lot of people when he knocked him out with that shot. But a lot of things that I'm really trying to tell you guys is that Borshchev is not only 6-1, man. He's been in there amateur kickboxing fights. He says, I had a long amateur career. He's talking about his kickboxing career here. I believe I have over 200 fights if I put them together. It was over 200 for sure. Can't say it was easy, especially because I started maybe too early. I had a lot of fights before I started to understand what was going on. And then he said it was over 50 fights that he could do technical stuff. And then he said after I decided to focus more and more on kickboxing, I won my first Russian national championship in 2006. Right after that, I just kept doing it. I became the world champ at 19 years old in 2011. This was probably the biggest victory for me in kickboxing. Before that, I was a junior world and European champion. After I won the world championship, I decided I didn't want to be an amateur anymore, and I turned pro. I have 20 kickboxing fights with 18 wins. Because I was such a high level amateur fighter, I never had an easy fight. I always fought against good guys. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say, man. This guy has got an extremely high level kickboxing background. K1 world amateur kickboxing champion, 18-2 professional kickboxing record. According to Viacheslav Borshchev, probably like 100 wins in kickboxing at least. Something absolutely insane like that. And I believe him, man. I mean, you look at his striking; it's so good. Marc Diakiese, on the other hand, he's good striking himself, but he's also able to throw in a few takedowns as well, if he needs to. But on the other hand, though, here's the thing with Viacheslav Borshchev. He's in my parlay, man. I'm picking him to win. He's also training our team Alpha Male, so his striking's probably going to still be improving, but it's also his ground game's going to be improving as well. It's not like he didn't find some sort of go through some sort of trouble against Dakota Bush. It wasn't a clean immediate win. On the other hand, Marc Diakiese's return after about a year and a half off against Rafael Alves did not go too well. He got submitted by guillotine quite early on in the fight, unfortunately. I'm going Borshchev by KO. I'm really big on Slava Borshchev. He's in my parlay. Viacheslav Borshchev and Aliashka Kizriev is my 2-fight parlay I barely got plus money on it. You might get like minus 120 or something, but I still think it's a good parlay. You can add a third fighter on there if you want. Viacheslav Borshchev though, man, I'm really big on this guy. Marc Diakiese, I don't really see him having much success on the feet at all. With Borshchev, maybe the first minute and a half or so could go alright. I mean, he could try and look for some takedowns if he really wants to, but I just don't really see him cracking Borshchev on the feet. I don't see him knocking out Borshchev. I don't see him outstriking or outvoluming Borshchev. Yeah, I'm gonna Viacheslav Borshchev. He's good. He's really good, man. And he's a prospect I like. And he's fighting often. He fought 5 months ago against Chris Duncan. He bounced back 3 months later against Dakota Bush. Now he's fighting again about 2.5 months later or so. I like that mentality. I like the fact that he's bouncing back and he's fighting often, because he is 30 years old as a prospect. That is pretty old as a prospect in the UFC, especially. Marc Diakiese, though, I don't think they're going to want to let him go because he's an English fighter, and the UK fans do love their fighters. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's not going to look too good for Marc Diakiese. I think like 2 more losses and he might be going to Eagle FC or PFL or something like that. Viacheslav Borshchev is my pick, man. I think he's going to look so good in this fight. I'm really looking forward to his performance.